This is Frank from Gettysburg Trains, and today's lesson is going to be on rusting of rails. One of the features people seem to like a lot is what I have done is rusted, or given my tracks the rusted rail look. This can be done very simple and cheap from your local hobby shop or train store. I use Lionel Fast Track. I think it's the best track on the market. It's got a great design to it with the road bed and the ties. Makes it look, a lot more authentic than your original 3-rail O and O27 gauge track. It's built up a little bit. It's got a raised platform here. The rails themselves are flat on the top instead of rounded on the top, so the wheels seem to roll a lot nicer. And despite some complaints about being loud, there are ways of insulating it at the bottom if you choose to do so. You can put some foam in here or whatnot. I don't worry about it. Trains are meant to be loud. They're not supposed to run real quiet. So what I do is I like the feel of that rickety rack across the tracks. Now as far as the rusting of the rails, I have this marker here. It's made by the Testors company. Of course, Testors for the last 50 years has been making models, glue and knives and a bunch of different products. And they make these great enamel paint markers. And these enamel paint markers are made by Testors, and they're put out by a company called Woodland Scenics. So if your local hobby shop or train store doesn't have them, go in and demand them. Say, hey, get me some Testors markers that are put out by Woodland Scenics. Woodland Scenics will put 2 or 3 in a pack. Some of them are called Train Tie Brown. This particular one's simply called Rust. And how I rust the rails on my platform, I'm going to go ahead and put the camera down here on the track and give you a better view. Basically what I do is I get the fast track with the marker that I've actually well shaken previous to this video, and I go across the marker all the way down the side of the track or the rail, which puts a coat of rust on that rail. And then I work on the same side into the center, putting a coat of rust on that rail. And don't worry about getting it on the top of the track. You can always get your Scotch-Brite pad and clean that off later. You're really concerned about going ahead and putting the rust on the sides of the rails. Now once you got the third tie done, then basically you just want to turn your track around and do the other side. And basically you can do this over and over again until you got the depth of rust that you like, whether you like your rails really dark and rusty like they've been there for years, or whether it's something that's just a slight rust feel. The ideas from these, I actually thought about it years ago, long before I knew the markers existed. I've always lived near the train tracks, growing up in the Philadelphia area, New Jersey, and then of course here in Gettysburg. My house is just about 100 feet away from a railroad track. An original old line that actually President Abraham Lincoln used when he came to Gettysburg here in 1863. So when I go out and I look at these tracks, there are things I notice about them. One of them, the rails on the side are rusty, and on the top where the wheels roll over and over again every day, they're shiny. So to get a real nice authentic look on your rails, it's always nice to have the sides with a rust look and the top shiny. This was an idea I had years ago. I really didn't know how to go about doing it. One of the magazines that I enjoy is O-Gauge Railroading Magazine. It's a great magazine for the O-Gauge railroader, and over the last half of 2007, early half of 2008, they've been doing some really cool features in it, and one of those features was rusting the rail. Obviously I seen a guy in the magazine that did a great job on his. I sent him an email. He told me where to find the markers and etc., and I went out and got them. So again, as model railroaders, though the idea I had years ago, it really wasn't my creation, it's somebody else's, and I'm working with them and adding on to my own personal layout doing it. So that's how I rust my rails, and I do want to thank you for watching Gettysburg Trains again. Keep tuned in here to the channel, and we're going to be doing some really cool videos of trains running, as well as other tips on your layout. If you have any questions, or comments, or you need some help with something, please feel free to get a hold of me at gettysburgtrains@aol.com or gettysburgtrains@gmail.com. Thank you.